So we made an unplanned stop that turned out to be better than we could have ever expected. We were blown away by Millionaire's new renovations, stumbled on the perfect spot to relax with amazingly spectacular views right from your bedside, and even discovered our new favorite pizza place after a full day of exploring the insanely scenic surroundings. So we are completely changing it up this time. We're leaving SoCal and heading east. Now this stop was definitely unscheduled. Matter of fact, it was only decided that we'd come here the night before. We were supposed to be heading to Oshkosh, but sometimes things don't work out the way you plan, and we had to make a decision after day one, return home or go somewhere else. And we already had the time off, so we figured why not just head to a place only about an hour away, a place we hadn't been to since the last time we remember life being nearly perfect. And you're probably wondering, what is this man talking about with all these riddles? Well, back in October of 2021, a year before I would become a pilot, we did a cross-country trip from SoCal to Utah, New Mexico, Arizona, and back. All in an RV, and no, not an aircraft RV, but a true recreational vehicle that we rented. We had never done RVing before, but we had always talked about it, so we finally did it, and our first official stop was St. George, Utah. And let me clarify that by we, I mean Irene, me, and the love of our life, our little four-legged furball with attitude, Stallion. And if you're wondering how did we come up with that name, well, I was a big Rocky fan, but it was fitting because I swear he thought he was a horse even though he was a little 16-pound Lhasa Apso. It had been the first trip ever that as we were driving home, we didn't want the trip to ever end, but of course it did. And so I don't risk depressing everyone. I'll just say that in 1 year's time from that trip, life would look completely different. I became a pilot since it was the only thing to help me grieve Stallion's passing. And to this day, it's hard to talk about, let alone write about it. But I say this all to paint a picture of how significant the city of St. George is for us. And today's visit would not only not tarnish the idealism of our first visit, but remind us of why this place is so special. We'll visit one of the most peaceful resorts we have ever been to that includes a garage. Yeah, a garage. That was crazy. Do some hiking with the most amazing rock formation backdrops. And of course, give you a full tour of Irene's favorite FBO chain. And you guys already know what this is. I mean, at this point, she should just be their ambassador. Millionaire. All as we visit St. George Regional Airport in St. George, Utah.
LA Center, Aero 19039 Hotel. Has airport in sight.
November 193, November Hotel, Roger. I'm only showing one piece of traffic approximately 3 miles to the southwest of St. George. Other than that, no traffic detected. Radar services terminated. Squawk maintain VFR, frequency change approved.
Squawk VFR, frequency change approved, and I appreciate all the advisories. 19039 Hotel. St. George traffic, Aero 19039 Hotel, 15 miles north inbound for a 45 for left traffic, 19 full stop. St. George.
Today we'll be departing Winslow Airport in Arizona very early in the morning. And you might be asking, what are we doing in Winslow? Well, it was because the day before we couldn't make it to Albuquerque from Prescott since there was a wall of towering cumulus clouds, so we diverted to Winslow. After our departure, we will head direct west around terrain and fires that were happening on the north rim of the Grand Canyon. It was a huge fire. When we get near Prescott, we would then head north using the corridor to fly north over the Grand Canyon and then direct to St. George. We had the wheels up by 6 a.m. since there were convective segments scheduled around 11 a.m. and we didn't want to get close to those at all. But now we have to admit that this was the original route because today's flight was really just a sightseeing out and back into St. George, which is not as exciting, but it's for good reason. For some reason, our cameras failed on that initial flight in here, so we had to refilm everything. Not that we minded refilming this approach, but instead of coming from the south on this day, we came from the north.
St. George traffic, Centurion 2259 Sierra, left crosswind runway 19.
St. George traffic, Skyhawk 172 Kilo Sierra in front of Millionaire, taxi to runway 19, taxiway Alpha, St. George traffic.
So let's dive into some history. So today's airport is one of the newest, probably the newest one we have visited since it was built in 2011. But technically there was an airport in St. George dating back to 1937 called St. George Municipal Airport. It was about 6 miles northwest of its current location on top of a mesa. It had a 3,000-foot runway with a beacon light and a windsock. And if you wanted to land at night, well, you'd have to circle the field until someone came in with their car to light up the runway. That's crazy. In 1938, airmail service began here, and any outgoing mail was brought in on horseback. Then in 1940, the runway was finally paved with a hangar and a small terminal. And by 1959, the runway was stretched to 5,100 feet, making it possible to serve airline traffic like SkyWest.
St. George Traffic, SkyWest 4818 CRJ 900, where the terminal will be taxiing to runway 19 via Alpha. St. George Traffic.
Turning left base, runway 19. Full stop, probably rolling out to Alpha 4 in this one, SkyWest.
Now, eventually, tourism and regional growth led the city to begin considering moving the airport to a location that would allow for some growth, unlike the mesa it was on. And they found the current location, today's location, which hadn't been used since 1961. And it was originally a drag strip and a model aircraft site. It opened on January 13th, 2011, and it made it much easier for regional jets to land with a runway nearly twice the original length.
St. George Traffic, Aero 1939 Hotel, 6 miles northeast and bound for left traffic, 19 St. George.
Now, the new airport didn't come without its problems. Less than 10 years after the airport first opened, the runway was already showing signs of wear, and it was issues because of the Utah clay underneath it. And in 2019, the airport had to be closed for 4 months for a $26 million reconstruction project that excavated 17 feet of clay, installed drainage, moisture barriers, and then repaved. Now, when the airport officially opened in 2011, not only was its location changed, but also its name. It went from St. George Municipal Airport to St. George Regional Airport to better reflect the airport's vision.
St. George Traffic, Aero 1939 Hotel, 4 miles southeast, inbound for left traffic, and we have the helicopter 1,000 feet below. St. George.
St. George Regional Airport is untowered, which will be changing soon. More on that coming up. And it has one runway, 0119 at 9,300 feet, which is beautiful when you take into account that the airport elevation is almost 3,000 feet. And if you come during the summer in a normally aspirated engine plane, well, you'll definitely feel the lack of performance. But with that long runway, just run your performance numbers and be patient. You'll be up in no time.
St. George Traffic, SkyWest 5084, taking off from runway 19, will be a departure to the southwest. St. George Traffic.
St. George.
SkyWest Centurion 22590 is almost to Alpha 4, but we're not off the runway yet.
Roger.
SkyWest Centurion 2259 Sierra, we have exited the runway at Alpha 4, you're clear.
Roger that, thanks guys, see ya.
All right, so let's talk about this tower. On August 11th, 2025, groundbreaking officially began for tower construction, which is amazing news as an IFR pilot. I much prefer towered airports, but also here with the amount of traffic, it will be a great addition. This will also alleviate LA Center from handling IFR traffic into this airport. The current scheduled completion date and certification for a fully operational tower is June 2027, so hopefully it stays on schedule.
St. George traffic, Skywest 5084 on the roll, taking off runway 19 southwest departure.
He's gone
St.
that
George
way.
traffic.
All right, so let's talk instrument approaches. First, it has an LDA, which uses the Enoch VOR over Cedar City and a St. George VOR for a 7-degree offset approach. Next, there's the RNAV GPS for both runways 01 and 19. But note that runway 19 RNAV is only LNAV as opposed to runway 01, which is LPV. Now, what's the difference between LPV and LNAV? Well, LPV is lateral navigation plus vertical. Gives you both lateral and vertical guidance, as opposed to the LNAV, which is only lateral navigation. And we'll have instrumentation in the plane that will let us know how aligned we are to either or. But if we're just on the LNAV, well, we won't have anything telling us how we are vertically. That's up to us as pilots to make sure that we don't go below the published minimum altitudes.
St. George traffic, Aero 39 Hotel, turning right for the 45 for 19 St. George.
Now, it's only natural to talk about the weather after talking approaches. Summers are long, hot, and dry, with July being the hottest month, with temperatures averaging 103 degrees, which brings density altitude to over 6,000 feet, which again makes that 9,300-foot runway a dream.
St. George traffic, Skywest 5084, about 1.5 miles to the southwest, departing southwest, 4,500 climbing.
172 Kilo Sierra, holding short of runway 19 at Alpha 1, St. George traffic.
St. George traffic, Aero 1939 Hotel, the 45 for 19 St. George.
St. George traffic, Skyhawk 172 Kilo Sierra, taking active runway 19 for takeoff, St. George traffic.
Now, the heat is the reason why the summer is considered off-season for St. George, which played into why the resort stay was so cheap. The winters, though, are why it's peak season. During the day, it's about 50 degrees average, but it does get cold at night. There is a localized rainfall from monsoon season, which includes lightning strikes, which this year was the cause of some of the fires, and we were constantly seeing those towering cumulus clouds.
St. George traffic, Aero 1939 Hotel, entering left downwind at 19 St. George.
But despite all that weather craziness, the best thing about the weather here is that it has 300 days of sunshine, which makes keeping up with your flying currency extremely easy. Now, I'm sure you guys have been listening to all that traffic, but as we come into land today, you'll see an American Airlines plane waiting for us to land. And that is because currently St. George Regional Airport is served by American, Delta, and United, with nonstop connections to major hubs like Salt Lake City, Phoenix, Dallas, Denver, and even seasonally LAX. And over the past 5 years, passenger traffic at this airport has nearly doubled, from about 160,000 in 2020 to a record-breaking 346,000 in 2024. And even with those big numbers, it still remains primarily a general aviation airport, which includes private charter jets. So suffice it to say, keep your ears perked and eyes outside for any and all traffic, both in the air and on the ground.
St. George traffic, Aero 39 Hotel, turning left base 19 St. George.
St. George traffic, Skyhawk 172 Kilo Sierra, left crosswind, runway 19, St. George traffic.
St. George traffic, Aero 1939 Hotel, turning final 19 St. George.
St. George traffic, Skyhawk 4818, CRJ 900, we're holding short, runway 19 awaiting IFR release, St. George traffic.
Now, it might seem that fuel might be limited to the FBOs, which we'll get more into a little bit later, but it's definitely not. But it's just a little tricky to find, which is why we will point it out here in case you need to just come in for a fuel stop and don't need the services of either of the FBOs. But you'll need to exit to the east, taxi back, and cross the approach in of 19 at Alpha 1 to Bravo 1 to get to the west side for your top off.
St. George traffic, Skyhawk 172 Kilo Sierra, departing towards the northeast, last call St. George traffic.
Now we do want to mention that there is an air museum on the field called the Western Sky Aviation Warbird Museum, which unfortunately we did not visit this time, but it has great reviews, so we'll make sure to visit it next time. But if you go before us, let us know how you like it.
St. George traffic, Aero 19939 Hotel, clear of 19 Alpha 24 Millionaire, St. George.
Right, and finally, let's talk transient parking. Now, we called to find out if there is city transient parking, and the best information that we could find is that there is, but it's always full. Now, if you're a local and no different, please let us know. So for now, we'll just say there is only FBO parking with either Millionaire or Sandstone Aviation. And you guys know which one we're going to choose. As far as Sandstone Aviation though, they have gotten really great reviews on ForeFlight, so it sounds like you can't go wrong with either. It'll just come down to personal preference, but Sandstone is building a new facility on the south end of the airport, which you'll see on our departure. But if you're gonna park at Millionaire, just know that it does have some of the thickest tie-down chains I've ever seen. But with gusts that can go as high as 30 knots or maybe even more, I can see why they are that thick. And make sure you definitely make sure to always tie down your plane.
St. George traffic says 4818, CRJ 900 departing runway 19 will be a right turn out, north eastbound departure.
And finally, don't forget, if you get there and you don't know exactly where to park, contact either FBO on their ASRI frequency, which you can find on ForeFlight or your other favorite electronic flight bag. Even better, contact them when you're a couple of miles out so they will be ready when you arrive. I haven't done that yet because I always forget, but next time I'll try to definitely remember. So I've already shown you guys behind the curtain, so to speak. So let's just pretend this is the first time we've landed here. So let's go explore. So we have made it to St. George. And this was not a planned stop, but we're really glad to be here actually.
Yeah.
We've been wanting to come here for many reasons, but one of which is...
They have my favorite FBO, Millionaire.
Millionaire. Riverside Millionaire, I think, spotlighted the March video. And then St. George responded on that, and then I told them that Irene's looking forward to going to visit this airport, and they said, well, we can't wait to have you. And so we are here now, and we've kind of cheated. We already got here, went looking around, and it's such a nice FBO.
It really is. It's like top of the line, super fancy.
Yeah.
A lot of good snacks.
A lot of good snacks. And they're not done yet, unfortunately. We thought they were going to be done, but it's okay because it gives us another reason to come back later. But man, what we already saw, I was like, wow, this thing is going to be really nice. Right now, we're actually going to go, you're probably hungry now. Oh. I think we're always hungry when we land.
It makes it interesting. Then we got to take them along somewhere to eat, right?
I know. We were actually trying to get here from another location, Winslow. Unfortunately, when Irene went to bed last night, I told her to wake up at 6, but after she went to sleep, I kept looking at the weather and I changed her alarm to 5 in the morning. So when she woke up this morning, she didn't know she was going to wake up an hour. I know, an hour earlier, but it was for good reason. It's to get here safely. That was the only priority I had, just get here safely.
It's forgivable.
Anyways, time to go get some food. We're gonna finish packing the car, securing Hannah, and then get out of here and show you guys what St. George is all about. So the first thing we noticed when we came here is that it's actually a pretty big FBO here at Millionaire. And if you want to know how to navigate, just know everything is pretty much on the first floor: snacks, conference rooms, showers, which we'll show you a little later. And on the second floor, it's really just the cafe, which has an amazing area. Of course, we'll show you that shortly. As you guys know, we've been to our fair share of FBOs, and one of our favorite things are the snacks. Here they had Otis Spunkmeyer cookies, and one of the things that surprised us the most, they had a working popcorn machine. We've seen those at other FBOs, but they're never on, and this time they were. So awesome job, Millionaire St. George. Oh, and we really enjoyed this flight planning room because you had a big window looking right out onto the runway.
My goodness. So David, I'm so excited already. I haven't even seen.
Millionaires.
Oh, that's so cool.
I know. That's some cool stuff. I like that. That's good though.
Oh, I have that one.
Oh, that's what I
F5s.
have. Yeah.
I got that from Yuma.
Remember on Ugly Angels? This was probably one of the most impressive showers at any FBO. It looks like you're in a 5-star hotel. It's very comfy actually. These are really nice. And just to point out, they do have 2 quiet rooms. One has a window and one doesn't. So it just depends how dark do you really want the room. And now we head upstairs to one of the best plane spotting cafes we've been to.
Oh.
That's really good. I like that.
So you can see.
Yeah, you can see the mountains. You can tell they're in the middle of construction because even the sodas don't have the labels on them yet.
It looks like they're still setting up.
Yeah, but seriously, when this place is finished, oh my God, it's gonna be amazing. Their food's always good. But like this space, looking outside.
Well, I think that's what's so cool about it. It's on the 2nd floor, which means you get this amazing like panoramic view, right? All the soda and condiments and anything are gonna be on that counter. And then behind this roll-up door, I'm assuming is the kitchen, right?
Yeah.
This is where we walked in. So there's an elevator if you don't want to take the stairs. This is where we walked through with the stairs there in the background. And then you still have like where your trash receptacles are and a television.
Well, not only that. On this side right here. So this is nice, right? It's a nice like seating area, you look outside, but it has power receptacles all the way.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, so you can just set up if you're working or whatever in between flights or you just want a complaint spot.
Down this whole counter?
Down this whole counter. Yeah, right here. Right there, right there, right there.
You weren't joking.
Yeah.
There they are. So if you want to like work and charge some devices while you're here. All right, let's go outside and check it out. My water's still sitting there. So I think this is probably my favorite part of this new remodel. So you've got some benches over here. And what's nice is they're already in the shade and it's only 11.
Yeah.
And those are the 3 windows that you get that view from, right, when you walk up?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Seriously, this is really nice. Really well thought out.
Yeah, kudos to the architect.
Well, and then the other thing too is, it looks like these are shades, huh? And they move.
They do.
That's cool. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is gonna go, because I think that's west, so this will eventually go that way. But
it's nice that right now it's still in shade.
Right now it feels good. I like dining area, huh?
Yeah. So there's tables and chairs out here. I think if you want to bring your meal out here. And it's again, all shaded. And they have a TV on that far side. And if we turn around, they've got a TV on this side. So they've got it all covered. And then like you were mentioning, these really cool steel curtains that move, they're on this track.
Yeah.
And I think they can provide some kind of shade.
Yeah.
So that the sun's not
direct.
Yeah. So it's really cool. But I think the coolest thing is just this view. I mean, you're elevated. And right now, funny enough, this airport is quiet. But when we went out earlier for a flight, it was buzzing. There were quite a few planes. And then there was 2 SkyWest that took off right when we got back, right?
But I think it's because, you know, you live in the desert, you know the rule. You get up early, you come back early. So we're just leaving for the day, Millionaire. We got some footage, and honestly, they did really good.
Yeah, I think it's, does well done count?
I think
it's not like a steak. They just recently had a refresh and an expansion, and it looks
spectacular.
Really good. Yeah, I think they did a great job just with the feel of it.
Yeah.
It feels very contemporary, but like warm. It's not like.
Well, you said like everything they did, it was like perfect for this location.
Yeah, exactly. So like all the colors that they chose, the materials, and it feels like it's fitting to this airport.
Yeah.
But it's like really well done. All the spaces are nice and comfortable.
Snacks.
The snacks are really good here.
Really
you guys,
good.
there's popcorn.
Get popcorn.
Yeah. And then upstairs, I know we can't wait for that cafe to open because we'll definitely be back for that. But even without the cafe,
that's
just
really
the
nice
viewing area.
Yeah.
Like to go up there and plane spot is really nice. You can feel the wind blow.
Yeah.
And you're in the shade, so it's a good spot.
So yeah, St. George, Millionaire, you guys, amazing.
Yeah, you guys did a great job.
We've been wanting to come here for a while now, right?
Yeah, it's been on my list for a long time. Oh yeah.
And so we can't wait till everything is completely done, and then we'll be back again at that time, because it's really nice.
And we'll share a review on the food in the cafe once that's complete.
Once that's done, yeah. Again, this wasn't planned, so we just happened to show up, but it's awesome here. So.
Yeah, highly recommend if you guys do come through here.
Yeah.
The staff is really friendly, linemen are awesome.
Oh my God, yeah.
They're great.
Yep. So we're out of here. We're gonna go get some food, as usual. So
always hungry.
So now we're making our way to this place that Irene literally found the night before 10 o'clock at night. And it ended up being one of the best places we have ever been. Now, first things first, we had to check in to get our keys. Now we're on our way, only to find out, we had no idea before we came here that we would have a garage. Wow.
So I know this seems like a really small thing, but Roger just loves automatic shades.
I know.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Whoa. Did you see this?
Oh my God.
All right, we gotta go out. We're gonna start outside first because this is incredible.
Oh.
We're apparently on the 9th hole here on this golf course.
I'm not a golfer, that's a good thing?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Look at that stream. That's so cool. That backdrop is incredible.
Now I'm going to mention that these ducks you're about to see are not just any old ducks. They're actually pretty famous here at this resort. Not only did we get to see them on our arrival day, but they actually showed up the next morning as soon as we opened the blinds.
So we came in through that white door straight ahead. That's the garage, which is really cool that we have our own garage.
I know.
So
you can you don't have to walk with all your stuff.
And your car's not out in the heat.
Oh my God, and we have a black car.
Yeah. And this is the front door here. So this is where you would normally come in through. So there's that front walkway there, which looks really cool. We have a little bench out there and a gate. So it's pretty private.
They were so accommodating, not only to get us in early for today, that doesn't always happen.
Right.
So you can't, that's not like a guarantee that'll happen, just like any other hotel.
Right.
But they try to make sure there was nobody next to us.
We've got like a seating area, which is nice because those look nice and comfy, especially for like high chairs.
Yeah.
Because usually they're not comfy.
Oh yeah.
There's enough room there to actually be able to eat and...
Well, that's the thing, like you can stand up around it, but I mean, it's just us two, so.
Yeah.
And then they have all the buttons for all the automated stuff. And then a desk. So
Which is
your
perfect,
work
that's
desk.
where I'll be working.
Yeah. Let's see if that was real. But this is cool. They have these chargers, but they all have USBs.
Oh, really?
There's 3 on this side, and there's like 4 USB on that side.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's pretty crazy.
How's the bed feel?
Feels pretty good.
Yeah.
Feels firm. Well, feels good. Feels supportive. That is nice.
I know.
I saw when you showed me in the pictures.
Yeah.
This was gonna be like, but it feels so roomy in here.
Well, what's nice is that you've got the chairs there, right?
Yeah.
You've got a fireplace over there against the wall.
Yeah.
Look at the TV. I like that it's not super high.
Yeah. Kitchenette, yeah.
Which is nice. You got a microwave, a small little fridge. I think they did say they had ice in the main welcome center, and
Yeah.
they provide ice buckets. So like if you're looking for that,
Yeah.
they've got that there. There's even a toaster. Oh, nice. There's a couple waters in there already.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
And then in the welcome center, I know that they had an espresso machine type.
Oh, they did?
Yeah,
Oh,
some
look.
tea. Ooh, well that's cool.
Plates, utensils, glasses.
That's perfect. Everything you need if you're gonna actually be using this place.
Oh, buckets.
Oh.
Nice buckets.
Nice. Oh,
Trash.
Oh.
Paper towels. Oh, you can wash.
It's awesome.
That's so cool.
And this is the smallest casita, so it just has a kitchenette.
All right. And 2 sinks, which always helpful to have 2 sinks.
Yeah.
Hair dryer. More toilet paper. Oh, makeup remover.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, makeup remover, more soaps. So this side's your side, apparently.
Okay.
A shower. Man, that is a deep, like, insert. You put like...
Can you party in the shower?
You can.
So there's the bathroom. I think that's everything, right?
That's everything.
Yeah.
And then the closet.
Oh.
All right.
There's a broom in there. All right.
Wow.
That's not what I was expecting.
Me neither. But yes, this is, we're gonna unpack now, and then I don't know what we're doing. I might just sit in that big comfy chair and just like knock out for like an hour. Anyways, ready to unpack?
Yep,
Let's do it. So the grounds, of course, are immaculate. The resort is actually inside a gated community. So you'll not only see visitors of the resort, but actual residents that live here. So we did go during monsoon season, and the reason there's nobody in the pool is because they were on lightning watch, which is definitely something they have to worry about here. While exploring the grounds, we happened to just stumble upon the main restaurant here called Soul. Now let me say that they do have a strict dress code. They tell you that on the website, and we definitely did not have the proper attire. Luckily, it wasn't that busy. Now, why didn't we have that attire? Well, remember, we never anticipated to be in St. George. We were literally packed for camping, not fine dining. But lucky for us, they were really accommodating, which is good because we were really hungry by this point. So we just got out of Seoul, right?
Seoul.
So Seoul's here is the like major restaurant?
I think it's their big one, yeah.
Their big restaurant here at the Inn at, I don't know. Whatever this place is called. It's called the Inn at...
The Inn at the Entrada.
But yes, so if you go to Seoul, usually you have to have reservations.
Yep.
And we did ask, like, do we need to have reservations? Luckily, because we're actually staying here, they accommodated us, one. And number two, this is completely their off season. We talked to someone and they said that, yeah, between the months of, I think after May and to September, it's quiet here. So if you want to come here when it's quiet, those are the months to come in. And I think I know why, because it gets hot.
Yeah.
We were just trying to walk the grounds. And we're like, let's go see if they'll let us in. And they let us in, and everybody was extremely nice. Food was delicious.
It was really good.
It was really good.
What did you have?
I had the ribeye. I had the ribeye, mashed potatoes. It was really good. And you had what?
I had the salmon that was like in red curry with miso. And it was really good. They had like a vegetable medley that was in there, and the salmon had like the little crispy skin. It was, it was
really good.
Melt in your mouth. Good.
Seriously, it's amazing. It's like you look around everywhere and it's
scenic.
It's like it's scenic and it looks fake. It's how scenic it looks fake. Off to walk back to the room and burn some of this food off. What is that?
Banana tart, which is like a banana pie.
Okay, and that.
Vanilla custard, which is a donut filled with vanilla cream.
Okay.
Their Queen-a-Mon, which is what they're known for. This is a tabernacle croissant.
But it's like this?
They got the same vanilla custard as this donut with a little bit of like sugar on top.
Oh.
I know. And then a strawberry croissant.
Oh man.
Yeah. We kind of went all out.
That's delicious.
Yeah. So I'm excited.
All right.
I can't wait.
So they still have the old.
Yes, but they are now.
Bonrue, okay. Now, after picking up stuff for breakfast, this is breakfast.
This is like dessert breakfast. I mean, it is already like 11, right?
Yeah, we got up a little later. But we're trying to enjoy the peacefulness. But we're going to take this back?
Yeah.
Can you do that?
Sure.
Yeah, we're heading back because that room's amazing.
So we're at Snow Canyon State Park, and are you seeing this backdrop? I mean, it's incredible.
See if they can. Yeah.
It's so really cool. So since now the sun's on the other side, we've got a little bit of shade. We thought we'd get out of the car and kind of explore a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
It is still 106 degrees. Is that what it said?
It was about 100. It was cooler, like 104.
Okay.
So not by much.
Cooler, 104 degrees.
But in the shade, it's completely different.
Yeah, especially you could see how windy it is.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels much cooler, which is why we decided to take this short little walk. But otherwise, I think they were advising people like don't hike.
It says, there's a sign back there, and it says don't hike between 11 a.m. and 7 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 6:35. So I think we're getting close to when they're like, it's okay now. But I think that's why, because it's cooling down finally.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But we just wanted to show you kind of what it's like up close. And we can only imagine that this park is probably really busy.
Oh my God.
When
in
it's
the
much
winter?
Cold. Yeah. Oh, because they snow here, right?
Yeah, it does snow here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's beautiful.
I mean, they have a ton of campgrounds, ton of parking.
Yeah.
So we came at a very unique, well, not unique, but a different time from, I think, when most people come.
Yeah.
So it will be interesting to come back when it's like busier.
Yeah. It will not be the same experience for sure.
And for the state parks, it's pretty easy. You just pull up, scan the QR code.
Mm-hmm.
And if you, for some reason, don't have reception, they have Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi that you can actually use to do all your payment. And then you just pick the right one if you're resident, non-resident, whatever. But they make it really easy. And then you can go in and out the whole day, right?
Yeah, so I think it was $15 for us today.
$15, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's not bad. I mean, this is really nice. And it looks like they keep up with everything pretty good.
Yeah.
So
this is a little paved road that I think you can walk. And it's funny because I'm looking, I know across the way there was like a visitor center with like where you check in for your campground.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm seeing up on that ledge, I don't know, can you see that? That like lime green looking thing.
where?
So straight ahead, you see where this rock
Oh.
holds? I'm thinking that's someone's
tent.
tent, right?
Whoa. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna turn this.
I don't think they're gonna be able to see it.
You're not gonna be able to see it, but let me see if I can kind of, right there. There's like a little yellow dot. You guys won't be able to see it, but that's how tiny it is. And there's people camping up there on top, which I didn't know you could do. I don't even know how they got there.
But yeah, there was a lot of rest stop areas where you can park and kind of go through and walk the formations and hike a little bit.
Yeah.
But most of them were in sun, and this was the only one so far that we could find that was in shade, which is why we decided to stop here. But this is definitely somewhere that we want to come back and check out when it's much cooler. So what we ended up doing was we came in through the south entrance of the Snow Canyon State Park, and we drove all the way through. On the other side, we just kind of turned around and came back the other way. And I recommend doing that because the views are completely different each way, right?
Oh yeah, because going east, you're kind of climbing, so you get that view. And coming back west, you're descending, so you just see everything all the way. Feels like it goes on forever.
Yeah, it's really nice. So I'd highly recommend driving it both ways.
Yeah.
And then stopping wherever you can if weather permits, because every like rest area has like a different formation. It just looks different.
And then it's crazy because it's like white rocks, and then they turn to these orangey rocks, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's peaceful.
So anyway, headed back to the resort because I think it's warm and you probably need some water.
Yes, we do.
But yeah.
Just because you can't feel the heat doesn't mean it's not dehydrating.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's head out of here.
So we just finished at Sandtown Pizza. And what did you think?
It's one of my favorite pizzas ever. It's seriously, it was so good. It was the Neapolitan. Wait, what is it? Is that what it is? Neapolitan type pizza?
Yeah.
It was so good. I like the ambiance in there.
Yeah, it seems really contemporary, casual, but still like, I don't know.
One of the best pizza places. We'll definitely be back there. Well, after 3 amazing days here, it was time to head home. We almost did a 4th, and technically we were only supposed to be here 2, but sometimes you go to places you don't want to leave, and that was definitely St. George. As much as I had been looking forward to Oshkosh, I have to admit, this was such an amazing diversion, especially for last minute. St. George has some of the nicest people we have been around. Everyone was so polite and all around helpful, whether it was Millionaire, the resort, or even the pizza restaurant. This has definitely become a staple for us, and we are already talking about visiting again before the peak season returns. You know, you got to take advantage of those cheaper rates.
St. George Traffic, Aero 19er, 39 Hotel, taxiing from Millionaire to 19 Runup, St. George. St. George Traffic, Cherokee 76 Lima is taxiing from Millionaire to 19.
And of course, we definitely have to show our appreciation because after almost 2 years of having the channel, it's only been until recently that it's really started to grow. And of course, it's because of you guys' support. And we still look at this every week and we seriously cannot believe the amount of support that we get. So thank you guys so much for it.
St. George Traffic, Sky 243 Echo Papa is taking on runway 19, will be departure to the southwest, St. George.
St. George, 9 Romeo Yankee, left crosswind off 1 center.
So last week we released Torrance Airport, which was one of our surprisingly favorite air museums. And some of the comments that really made us smile were those that didn't know the museum even existed but are now having plans to go, which definitely was a huge goal of ours, in case you guys couldn't tell after the third, fourth, fifth time of us saying that you should definitely go. So we can't wait to hear your experience. Next, you guys came through and let us know exactly why the museum was moved from Hawthorne. We learned that not all the exhibits made it over, but hopefully one day they'll have a big enough facility to showcase all of the aircrafts that they have. And finally, we even had a comment of a person that actually lived in those temporary housing barracks after the war at Torrance. And what surprised us was that the person considered it a very positive thing that helped people get back on their feet. Again, we had no idea about Torrance history until we began our research, but to hear from someone who is willing to share their experience, just a wow. You all truly never disappoint. Thank you so much again for sharing your stories. Amazing how far aviation can and has touched lives, either directly or indirectly.
St. George traffic 172 Kilo Sierra, taxiing to runway 19 V Alpha.
We got Skyhawk 243 Echo Papa. We're crossing the gorge southwestbound at 6,500. We'll keep an eye out for you.
Well, if you don't know yet, we love St. George from the first time we came here to this last time. And not only will we look forward to the next time we come, we dream about it every single day. We can't believe the friends we have made already through this channel, and still so many more to make. We're definitely going to turn up the rate of airports we visit once the fall hits, as the heat is actually kind of tough for us. So be ready for those who have invited us. As they say, winter is coming. And again, thank you so much for being some of the most amazing people we hear from in the comments, to those that we see in person, which includes Royce and Holly, who have been supporters of ours from the beginning. And we finally met them at this airport for dinner, completely by chance. Thanks again for dinner, guys. We appreciate you all. We'll see you next week. Until then, go fly, go discover.
St. George traffic, Aero 1939 Hotel, taking off runway 19 Alpha for a southwest departure. St. George.
St. George traffic, citation 7 Quebec Sierra taxi into runway 19 St. George. St. George traffic, 61 Romeo will be number 2 on that left downwind traffic. St. George.
St. George traffic 172 Kilo Sierra is taking runway 19 for left closed traffic.
St. George traffic, Aero 1939 Hotel, making a right crosswind 19 departing to the southwest, St. George.
St. George traffic, 7210 Foxtrot, 10 miles to the southwest of the field. We're going to be flying to the west of the field, transitioning to the northeast, St. George. St. George traffic, 61 Romeo, west downwind, number 2, St. George.
St. George traffic, 172 Kilo Sierra is turning a left crosswind, runway 19. St. George traffic, 172 Kilo Sierra is turning a left downwind for runway 19.
St. George traffic, 61 Romeo, turning left face, 19er, full stop, St. George. And St. George traffic, 61 Romeo, turning final, 19er, full stop, St. George. St. George traffic, 7210 Foxtrot, 5 miles to the west of the airfield at 7,500, transitioning to the northeast, St. George.
LA Center, jet setter 22295, descending 240.
Jet setter 22, LA Center, is going to maintain 15 south, Vegas altimeter, 299er8, do not exceed 250 knots at bogey.
Descend 15,000, do not exceed 280 knots at bogey, jet setter 22.
Jet setter 22, just verified, do not exceed 250 knots at bogey.
Sorry, 250 knots at bogey, jet setter 22.
good morning, Sun Country 103, leaving 320 for 240. Sun Country 103, LA Center, sim via Chow 3 arrival, 26 left transition, Vegas altimeter 299er8.
GPS
engaged. For 26 left, Sun Country 103.
Good morning, LA Center, Aero 193 Hotel, 10 miles west of St. George, VFR request.
And look for flight following with that call sign November 1939 Hotel.
That is affirmative. 39er Hotel, the PA 28 Romeo Slank Golf, requesting flight following to Corona, Alpha Juliet Oscar.
39er Hotel, roger. Delay center Spock 1354.
1354, 39er Hotel.
LA, good morning. Skywest 4811, level, correction 260, descending 240.
That's 4811, LA Center, center maintain bulb 200, advising you have weather node to St. George, type approach question.
200, we have the weather NOTAMs into St. George. I'd like to request a visual 19er.
That's 4811, roger. Let me know if you want to head to direct field or stay on course.
On course, please. Skywest 4811.
Right.
LA Center, exit jet 947 off of St. George, coming through 10 for 111000 on the check-in tube.
216 at 947, LA Center, radar contact 4 miles south of St. George. You are up to check, climb, maintain 16,000, Vegas altimeter 299er8.
Up to 16,000, 299er8 for exit jet 947.
Jet 438, LA Center, recheck on.
Flexjet 438, 182, ground file 190.
Flexjet 438, LA Center, climb, maintain fall 230, do not exceed 270 knots for departure space.
Maintain 230, do not exceed 270, Flexjet 438.
Center United 1776, 16.5, climbing 190. United 1776, LA Center, climb, maintain fall 230, maintain 290 knots or greater for departure space.
Climb and maintain 230, maintain 290 or better, United 1776.
Flexjet 438, contact LA Center 135.25.
3525, Flexjet 438.
For 1939er Hotel, radar contact 14 miles southwest of the St. George VOR, altitude indicated 7,500, St. George altimeter 3004.
3004, 39er Hotel.
Center, November 5260 Alpha, level 11,500, over the corridor.
5260 Alpha, LA Center, roger, the page altimeter 3013.
301360 Alpha.
Jet setter 22, level in 5 minutes left.
Copy, transfer 22.
Open Country 103, contact base approach 119.77.
109.77, Secondary 103.